I'm Melanie Graham. I'm an adjunct professor at USF, and we're talking about Social Injustice Project, which is Project 3. And I'm here with Ashley.
Hi, my name is Ashley Martinez. I am a sophomore at the University of South Florida, and my major is pre-mass communications.
Great. So I want to start off talking about the prompt and the safe environment that I create in the classroom. I challenge students to pick something that they're very emotionally connected with for this project, which can open up a kettle of fish, but I encourage all teachers to be brave because the rewards are amazing. The prompt that I follow is the one listed on the FYC site, and it talks about having students find a social injustice and create change in the world. And by doing that, they interview 3 people and they propose 5 plans of action, and they actually do one of them, which is the thing that kind of pushes us over the edge into changing the world, which is the greatest thing about the project.
When you introduced the social injustice prompt, I knew immediately that I wanted to do child sexual abuse. I think what was great about Project 3 was the fact that on top of the actual format and topic that the ENC website gave you, required that we actually perform a plan of action. I knew many people who were doing flyers. I knew people who were doing chalking, and what I wanted to do for my plan of action was I wanted to do something that couldn't be taken down. Chalk can be washed off the street, flyers can be thrown away, and I wanted to create a video that can stay on the internet and circulate to many people. So then I created the PSA, A Stolen Fairy Tale.
And you had said that you wanted to be a filmmaker, right? And so tell me about how you created the project, because did you buy a $3,000 camera, or how did you do it?
I actually, before the project, I was really, I had a lot of conflict with wanting to become a filmmaker. I always wanted to do that, and I wouldn't give up that dream for anything, but I was, I was hitting a wall thinking, I can't do this because I don't have this equipment. I can't make a film that people are going to recognize. And when that project came along, I was waiting. I really waited. Like, I wanted to do something incredible. I wanted to do something that was big, that I could, just showcase something great. And I just said, you know what, let me suck it up and get out my really old, 2000, before middle school. I had this camera since middle school, and I decided to sit there at my desk in my dorm room with a lamp shining on a piece of paper, and I began to draw and paint this PSA that was from, I wanted to create a child's perspective, so I did childlike drawings, and I used my resources in a way that I think a lot of people could relate to it.
Right. And I remember in the class the day that Ashley said, I want to go today. Sometimes students are really excited to present, and I remember that day in class, Ashley said, I want to go today, and I said, okay. So she got up and she said, this is a PSA that I've created, and she pulled it up on YouTube, and we're all sitting there in the dark watching this, and I'm immediately thinking, I've heard her wrong. I thought she said she made this. So when it was in completion, we're sitting there, and the class was completely quiet. Do you remember that? No one really said anything. And I said, did you say that you made this? And she said, yes. And everybody just erupted because it was so amazing. It was so professionally done. And I've never forgotten it. And when Kyle Stedman sent out an email about JUMP, they were looking for undergraduate projects about multimedia, immediately I thought of Ashley.
I submitted my video to the JUMP magazine out of the University of Texas, and I received this really cool acceptance letter saying that we would love to, accept your video. And what was really cool about that publication was it was evaluated and analyzed. I got to see what people really got from it when they really analyzed it, and it was just really incredible. And it was really flattering to see those reviews and see what others got from it.
As a father of a 4-year-old, I find myself singularly impacted by this project. The author sets out to tell the story of so many children affected by sexual abuse, and attempts to issue a call to us as viewers to help stop such abuse.
Yeah, and it was wonderful. It's one of the best projects that I have ever seen. I'm so proud of her. And more than that, I think as a teacher, seeing the bravery, and I wondered if you could talk about a little bit, were you afraid of how the class would react?
For a long time, I was very, before the class, I was very worried about it and sitting there bringing up this issue in front of people, I was thinking, I hope people, I've always thought, like being a survivor of child sexual abuse, I've always thought, what if this person knows? Are they going to judge me because of it? Are they going to think differently? And really, when it came down to it, I think to hear from a survivor, that this issue is present, that we have to combat it, and to hear it from someone who's experienced it, I think is much more powerful. So I had a lot of courage, but I was excited about it too, to talk to a classroom, and because it was a very comfortable environment. And children, like some other students had already shared some of their projects. It really, I just did it, and wanting to be a child advocate, it's important to stand up and tell your story. There was another student in the classroom, I don't remember her name, but her topic was, I believe, rape.
Yes.
And I went up to her after her presentation because I thought it was really excellent, and I commended her for her bravery to stand up in front of the classroom and say that. And she actually told me that she wasn't going to say that personally that happened to her, but after I did it, that she felt that she could too. And that's what I found probably one of the most rewarding things.
That's what's so great about this project, and what I've seen through the years is there's a community that comes from seeing someone stand up and say, this has happened to me, and there's probably nothing that you could say to me that's going to be worse than what I've already said to myself. And I think that's true for a lot of situations like this. So you sort of have nothing to lose, but you have everything to lose. And I feel like I'm so privileged to hear the stories that students share, and I am so privileged because of the department giving me this opportunity to do this. And like I said in the beginning, it kind of happened accidentally. I was sort of shocked by how brave students were, and then I ran with it. And I think it's important as a teacher to say, if you don't have to identify this as something that's happened to you, you could just say, it happened to someone I know. When the students do interviews, I've had students interview themselves for their papers, and they come to me and say, I'm going to interview myself, and I'm just going to present it as someone named Jane, and that's great. Is there anything you would like to say to students who are approaching this project?
Absolutely. This project is life-changing. It's something that students should take very seriously and really find what they really care about. I know some people like to take the easy road out and do things that they're not really connected to, but I think if you were to find something that you're really, and there's something that everybody cares about, so you can't say, oh, I can't find a topic. Find something you're passionate about and go along with it full-fledged and put your whole heart into this project, because it will, it's changed my life.
And you're a filmmaker now, right?
And I am a filmmaker now.
Your dreams are coming true.
It helped act this project and making a piece of media for it. It was a catalyst to try to get me to do films, because before, I said I can't do this, but you have to use the resources you have to do the best job you can, and if you put your heart into it, it will get recognized and people will appreciate it.
Absolutely.